Hi, and welcome to this video which is about how to manage mood swings during your pregnancy. You'll learn loads of different ways to help manage those big emotions. If you are experiencing this right now during your pregnancy, just know that it is totally normal, but it's not always comfortable. So there are plenty of ways that you can help yourself to manage. My name is Sophie Harris and I am a pregnancy and postpartum therapist and the founder of my company Looking After Mum. Subscribe using the button below for free weekly support about loads of pregnancy emotional well-being support for you. Okay, let's jump right in. First tip is to show yourself compassion. You need this compassion right now and you need to be kind to yourself, because it is so easy to be self-critical when we are experiencing all of these big emotions. But like I said before, just know that they are so normal. Loads, if not everyone, is experiencing these. It's just not everyone talks about them. And so when you are experiencing all of these big emotions, just try to talk to yourself like you would to a friend, or think what advice you would give to a friend in this situation. The second tip is to breathe. And this may sound simple, but we want to find ways to relax your nervous system. Often when we feel anxious or tense during our pregnancies, it can mean that we're carrying a lot of tension in our nervous systems. The easiest way to release this is to learn to take deep breaths in through your nose, into your belly, and then out from your belly, out of your mouth. Other ways that we can relax our nervous systems is by things like going out in nature, spending time with people who make us feel relaxed, maybe listening to music, walking barefoot on the ground, getting lots of natural sunlight. Find what works for you of ways to relax your nervous system. Third tip is to use what I call an emotional thermometer. But this is essentially a way to manage big emotions before they come up for you. So for example, if I'm going about my business and I can feel my tension starting to build, I have a way that I can measure this. 0 being completely calm, fine, no problem. 10 being all out panic, anger, all of those big emotions. So perhaps I choose to just check in with myself throughout the day and be like, okay, where am I at the moment? It's like, oh, I'm a 4. Okay, I don't want to get higher. What can I do to bring myself back down to a 2 or a 3? And then I might be able to, for example, leave one of the errands that I've got to do, or decide just to have a cup of tea, do some deep breathing for a while. It can be really helpful to check in with your emotions before you become really heightened in those emotions, and they're much easier to bring back down before it's got to that point. The fourth tip is to use grounding techniques when you are experiencing these big emotions. With this, we often get so carried out of ourselves, but it's just ways to be mindful and to remind yourself that you're okay, you're safe. It might just be feeling your feeling of your bum in the chair that you're sat in, if you're sat in a chair. Or it might be reminding yourself, I am safe, I am okay. If things feel hard, but I am okay. It might just be looking around and looking out the window and seeing the leaves on the trees. Any way that can help bring you back to the present moment rather than getting carried away in these big feelings that you may be feeling. The next tip is to take emotional breaks. So what I mean by this is, if you know that you're more prone to getting overstimulated, your emotions heightened, take little breaks in your day that can help you to reset and rewire. If you're at home, you might have a calming space in your house that you could go to, or your flat, or wherever you live. Or in a workplace, you might just have a quiet spot that you just schedule in these little times before you become overwhelmed or anxious, that can help bring you back to a much more pleasant level for yourself. And then the next tip is to learn to communicate your needs ahead of time. Often our big emotions impact us and those around us. And when we are triggered, when I am triggered, when you are triggered, it can be really difficult to express what we need in those moments. And so perhaps, for example, if you are having a dynamic with a partner, have a conversation with them outside of that time where you're getting heated or triggered, and just have a think about what you need. So an example of this may be, when I get overstimulated, overwhelmed, I just need 10 minutes to calm down. Like, that's what I might need, but it might not be what you need. And just communicate with your partner ahead of time. That means that when you are in that conversation, you'll be much more likely to remember that, and perhaps they'll remember that, and then it will be easier to get what you need in that moment without getting completely overheated. Next tip is to remind yourself that your emotions will pass. However big your emotions are, they will eventually go away again, trust me. And if we learn to let the emotions be and not to suppress them and to just let them be as they are, then it means that we can move through them quicker. If we label emotions as negative or bad and we try to suppress them, it's likely that they're going to stay in us longer. So just give yourself some space to feel all the emotions, and I would imagine it will have a positive impact on your ability to deal with those. And the next tip is let me just see my little notes, to delegate responsibility. This means that everyone's pregnancy is different, but for a lot of people, they will have higher needs or maybe not be able to do quite as much as they would have done at other times. You are often using a lot of energy making a baby, and that is okay. So perhaps try to find ways, if you've got any family or friends who could support you, if there's any tasks you can cut out completely, if you are in a position to maybe hire a professional cleaner for a while, or get some support in some capacity with doing your home, making your home a nice place to live as well. But ultimately, this isn't the time to have the highest standards in the world. It is okay to let your standards slip and just embrace it, is all I can say. And then finally is to get support. Getting support is really helpful if you are experiencing these big emotions. And this could just be support from friends or family, and it could be just have someone who's been through the same thing. And so when you have those conversations with that person, then you can just really normalize your experiences and remember that you're not going crazy. It is totally fine. It is okay. It might be that your partner doesn't understand everything that you're going through, which is completely normal, and we can't really expect them to. So having those people who can support you outside of that dynamic is very helpful. And then, of course, working with a therapist if you feel like that would be helpful. I love supporting women during their pregnancy to help them feel their absolute best, help manage issues with anxiety or low mood. So if you feel like this could be helpful for you, you are very welcome to get in contact on my website, Looking After Mum, to find out about whether I have availability for pregnancy therapy with you. And I will be releasing much more videos on this topic. This is a new YouTube channel, but I will be releasing 2 videos a week. So subscribe to my channel, like this video if you find it helpful, and comment below with any questions that you want answered, any tips that you either want to share or you would like me to give some. And I am in a position to do that at the moment. I can respond to all comments, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.